I'm going to take you through a complete guide on this Mage Minion build that you can use to complete all the content you need to in Season 8. It doesn't require any mythic uniques, capable of defeating tier 4 lair bosses as well as tier 4 below, and you can easily beat tier 75 in the pit with potential to go higher. Now here you can see me going through a pit tier 75 run, and I'm going to take you through all the details of the build as we go. We're getting a lot of our damage through the Ring of Medallion and our mages in this build. In terms of skills on our bar, we have the Raised Skeleton, Blood Mist for helping avoid damage at times or break stuns. Then we have Corpse Tendrils to help bring in all the enemies, buff our critical strike damage and give us Blood Orbs to activate Blood Begets Legendary node. Then we have Soul Rift to ensure we get a barrier, make enemies vulnerable and get the damage buff. Our final two skills are Decompose, which we just have on our bar for the damage and movement buff we get from Reaper's Pursuit, and the Blight for the damage buff for our minions. Now for curses, we don't have any on our skill bar, and that's because we're applying curses either through the Blood Moon Breaches unique or the aspect of the Cursed Aura. Now I'm going to take you through everything about my current build, and I also have a link in the description to where you can find the optimal build online to help you follow along a bit easier. Okay, I'm going to take you through the gear and aspects I'm using. So for the helmet, you want to take the Blood Getters aspect for the Skeletal Priest buff. Now in terms of affixes, I'm taking Intelligence, Max Life and Skeletal Warrior Mastery. Total Armor if you need the extra armor, and more importantly Corpse Tendril size to help bring in those enemies. For your chest in here, I'm taking the Cursed Aura aspect to automatically apply my curses. Now I've got Intelligence, Max Life in here, Resistance to Elements if you need to buff that up slightly. Crowd Control Duration is an important one to make sure the boss power is being activated, which I'll take you through shortly, and potentially Total Armor again if you require the extra armor for tier 4. Now for gloves, we're taking the Great Feast aspect for the increased damage. We're also looking for Intelligence, Max Life, and most importantly Skeletal Mage Mastery. You want to make sure you try and max that out. Critical Strike damage and Soul Rift duration, which is important to try and keep uptime on Soul Rift. For the pants, we want to have a look out for Hellbent Commander as the main affix, and then also the part of the unique where you deal 50% increased critical strike damage to enemies affected by curses. Those are the main ones you want to look out for. For the boots, Occult Dominion, and we're taking Intelligence, Armor and Movement Speed, and then Movement Speed and Soul Rift duration. For our weapon, we're taking Intelligence, Max Life, Critical Strike damage, and then what the main affix you want to make sure you got is the chance for Skeletal Mages to attack twice, which is a very key one, and then also Critical Strike damage. For the aspect of Grasping Veins for the increased Critical Strike damage as well. For the amulet, I've got the aspect of Reanimation on here, so that's been buffed recently, so a great amount of damage boost. Now I've got Intelligence and more importantly plus to Hellbent Commander. The damage affix here is not important, you can have a much better affixes, even life and things like that as well. Skeletal Mage damage and chance to fortify with minion attacks. Skeletal Mage damage can be swapped out for critical strike damage as well. On our ring, we've got the Frenzied Dead aspect in here. Now this can be helpful to get your attack speed to where it needs to be. If you've got better rolls on attack speed, you'll be able to swap this out for like the Brawler's aspect for increased damage after an ultimate or something like that as well. Now Intelligence, Max Life and attack speed is what we're looking for in terms of affixes, and ultimate cooldown reduction, and then Skeletal Mage damage, or you can swap that out for critical strike damage as well. For the Ring of Medallion, you really want to be focused on the +2 Skeletal Warrior Mage Mastery in here, as also the unique skill with the amount of damage it applies. Going over to boss powers, we've got Irreversible Bombs for the gain 15% cooldown reduction. Then we've got Flesh Reaper, which gives us increased vulnerable damage. That's why we've got the crowd control duration bonus on our chest piece. Then we're getting the increased critical strike chance, and also Beastmaster's training for the increased summoner damage you get for that. Going over Book of the Dead, we're taking Reapers and the cooldown reduction. We're taking Shadow Mages and the increased damage option, and then we're sacrificing our Golem for the increased critical strike damage. Going over to Mercenaries, we're taking Rahir, and you want to be going and following this path for the extra resistances and the increased damage buff. And then for Reinforcement, we're taking Bloodthirst for the attack speed buff we're going to get. Going over to the skill tree, You can look through this in detail on the link in the description, but you can see through here all the skills I'm going through. You just want to make sure you're picking up the correct passives, and then obviously our gear is buffing our Skeletal Mage Mastery and Skeletal Warrior Mastery. So make sure to go through and follow that to make sure you're getting the right buffs in order to match the build. In terms of Paragon board, you can follow this in the link in description as well, but we can see here I'm taking Corporeal as the first one on the beginner board. Then you want to be picking up Cult Leader, and we're putting in Dead Razor. Then we've taken Flesh Eater and put in Control. Then we've moved over and taken Frailty and we put in Amplify. And finally we're taking the Blood Begets Blood and we've put in Essence. Now if you did find this video useful, do remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, and also consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help out.